So the first thing you need to know is, please be sure you have a secured place for your snails. Snails are escapists. They can lift 6 times their weight. They can lift a load 6 times their weight. So what you actually need to do is to ensure you have an enclosed system. It can be a cage like this. Now this cage has like 4 compartments. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so and if you're having this kind of cage, ensure that you're able to build something that when it is sunny, it will not be too hot inside. So like we have wire gaze, for ventilation. And there are different types of farming. We have soil farming and soilless farming. Okay, this type is a soil farming. Okay, and for the kind of soil you are going to use must be a good nutritious soil. So basically we advise you use a sandy loam soil. All right, my name is Oluwatobi Atilade. I'm the director of the Upward Ventures, but now it's changed to the Upward Snails and Agro Services.
Yeah, my name is Timothy Abolade. I'm the business guy behind the farm and everything.
Okay, for me, if you ask me what year I started snail farming, apparently it should be close to around 15, 17 years now. But if you ask me when did I actually start it as a business, this is the 6th year. So I started since 2018, basically as a business structure. So after you have your soil in your pen, they must be at a particular level before you supply your snails inside the pen. So the moment you have your soil, if your soil is wet, you don't need to add more water to the soil. But if your soil is as dry as this, then you can see how dusty it is, so you probably need to add more water. Okay, so for instance, we have here a plastic. In this plastic, this is where we put in their water. Sometimes if we don't put their water in, we get to put in their feed. We have 2 of this plastic on a normal ground. We have 2 of this plastic inside. And if you don't have this kind of plastic, you can get a tray. This chicken feeding trough or feeding chicken tray. You can actually make use of that. Then introduce it into your pen. Then ensure you position it at a particular point wherein the snails have even feeding and even drinking. I don't know if you get that point. So then after you wet, please ensure you wet enough. This is just a demo of what you need to do. The moment you wet enough, because it is dry season, that's why you see me pouring water this way. Now before I proceed, please, whenever you are starting your snail farm, don't start in the afternoon period. Start in the cool hour of the day. Don't introduce your snails in a very hot season. Let it be in the cool hour of the day, either early in the morning or late or somehow around 5, 6, 7 p.m. in the evening. These are the period when snails actually are feeling more relaxed and are becoming proactive. Why? They are nocturnal animals. Another thing you should know is that don't stress your snails in the afternoon too much. You don't need to come and check them in the afternoon period. Leave them alone. Let them enjoy their life. Let them sleep. Let them rest. Okay, so just this part, I'm only going to wet this part so as to avoid too much of. Ooh, overhanded like 1,000 to 1,005. Yes, 1,000 to 1,005. It was massive. We're looking for space, looking for pen. That's what we call it in snail farming. Looking for a breeding point. Like, my God, where do you want to pack the snails? But the most amazing aspect of it is it was at that point buyers were coming in. So there was a need for us to sell and then restock, sell. So, and this is something most beautiful thing about snails. They are highly prolific. Once they hit that level of prolificacy, Now you go tire because you'll be looking for space and more space if you are not really prepared to raise snail farming. You must just be prepared for enough space for them to thrive. So with that, everything is settled. Now, this is another system called keg system. The other one is a cage system. So this is a keg system. In this keg, there are snails. I have species of snails in here. I have different species of snails in here. Now, okay, I would love to show you their species. So I have 3 species of snail here. As you can see, this is AA. This is Achatina achatina. This is AM, Achatina marginata, while this is AF, Achatina fulica. Okay, this one is commonly seen around. Let me get to show you the smaller version of this because it's gonna be confusing. Like, this thing is big, oh. It's gonna be confusing. So this is it. This one you get to see, it's a garden snail. You see it around your compound. This is AF. Okay, you see the pointed, see it all around. This is AM. Now this is marginata, Achatina marginata. See the blunted point compared to the AA, which has the sharpened point. Then look at it, has like a tiger skin shell, and this does not have a tiger skin shell. Can you see the difference? Okay, one is darker than the other. If you look close enough, you understand that one is darker than the other. Okay, so if I'm introducing, let me assume I'm introducing these snails into the pen now. So what I need to do is I will need to bait these snails in fresh water. Okay, but because they're actually in their pen, I'll need to move them in.
You need to know the species of snail you want to rear. There are different species. We have different species and they have their own qualities. What differentiates them from each other, the size, how big they can grow, the production, how they breed and everything. So you have to decide mainly. But one of the easiest, or how will I put it, to rear for farming, for business, is the Araginta marginata. They grow big and they produce well. So another thing is you have to look for space, the housing where you will keep them. Although you might not start big, you can start with a container. I remember back then you can start with tire, you just put tire, you put other stuff. So you can start small, then keep growing from there.
You see, snails and some other, another pest, they require the same atmosphere to thrive. Some other predators, or let me call them pests, like ants, like cockroach, like earthworm. Earthworm is not a predator. Earthworm is not against snail thriving in the pen. In fact, earthworm is very encouraged in your pen. If you see earthworms in your pen, that means your soil is fertile. It means snails can actually thrive in it. So the earthworms in your snail pen actually will help you clean. They are like cleaning services, cleaning agents. They will help you clean up dirt in the snail pen, so that you probably may not get to do junk of work when you come to check on them. All right. So what you then need to do is ensure you run away from pests like ants. Anytime you start seeing like red ants, okay, I have a video on my YouTube channel. It's a broadcast video. You can go ahead, check it, The Upward Ventures YouTube, and check The Upward Ventures. Check for some of the videos. They are very encouraging and very educating videos. Please check it. I get to show you how to deal with red ants, especially when you have invasion of ants in your snail pen. Okay, there was a video I needed to do, and oh, sorry. It's trying to move. It's telling me, leave me alone. It's trying to move. Can you see the high? Okay, that's the antenna, and the other one down there is the high. the antenna will definitely get to see vibrations. The other one down there is the high. Okay. You see, when I started this business, I went to the internet, made a lot of research, and on the internet, I got to see that snails they are competitive to human consumption. Like they eat exact human food, aside from pepper, salt, some of those things that should not be given to them. So in my mind, I was like, confirm. So I can give my snails anything. So I started giving my snails yam peels, cassava, flour. I will, after pounding yam, any fragment of the pounded yam left, I'm going to give them, and at a point in time, I started giving them bread and butter. Wow, I was like, confirm, my snails will be very, very, when I give them bread and butter, they will finish it. And to cut the long story short, I observed that the more I give them yam and yam peels and anything around the yam, the more I receive a lot of mortality. So in the long process, I discovered that I need to stop giving them yam or yam peel or anything around yam. Why? Because it really bloats them so fast and they die untimely. Shortly, you will see a big snail doing well, eating fine. The moment you introduce yam or anything around yam, whatever, to the pen, the following day go there, you will see the whole neck bloated. Then ensure when you are feeding your snail, do well to remove debris, do well to remove leftovers 24 hours. Every 24 hours. The kind of feed you are giving to your snail must be enough to feed on within 24 hours. If it's more than 24 hours, please, you need to do well to go for the training. It is very, very important. Okay, another thing is, see how big the snail is. So, see how big. Come on, open your teeth. It's tracking inside. Ooh, come on, this is beautiful. Okay, so another thing you should get to know is, please avoid, like I made mention the other time, avoid the use of salt, hot water, pepper, and chemicals. Please, fumigation is not a good way of taking care of your snail. Never fumigate your snail. Never fumigate the environment. Anything chemical that the odor will ooze out so much that you affect the pen. Please do well not to use it in the snail pen. Okay, there are other things you need to do in snail farming that can be helpful, but you need to see the training. You need to go for the training. There are a lot of things you will need to know. You may not get the details of all you need to know about snail farming in this clip, okay? But get knowledge. It is very, very important. Don't get knowledge from people who just collect your money and run away. Don't go and buy book online and you will not be able to consult the writer of the book. Don't just dabble into a Facebook or Instagram handle of someone who is doing snail and does not really have a track record of a training, or is not even boastful of whatever thing he or she is doing. So I am telling you officially, and I am humbly telling you this, please go for knowledge. There are few people who actually know how this snail farming runs. A very few number of them. If you fall into the hands of wrong people, the beautiful aspect of snail farming is, if you are patient enough, you will eat the fruit of the land. If you are patient enough, and if you are the type of person that is not really patient, you really want to make money out of snail farming, so to say, yeah, there are strategies for you. Like, a training is coming up in 2024, wherein everyone gets, it's going to be a paid training, wherein everyone will get the opportunity to learn how to make money from snail You necessarily do not have to be a snail farmer before you start making any income from it. Okay, look at the skin again. That's how you get to spot the difference between AA and AM. This is AM on my right hand, as you can see, and on my left hand, this is AA. That is Achatina achatina. The AM is called Achatina marginata. So this is AA, Achatina achatina. You know, it has a pointed edge. Can you see? Compared to that of the AM. Can you see the difference? And one is having more meat than the other. You can't compare. That's why you hear that they call the AM. This is what is called African giant snail, because it grows large. Okay, let's introduce these guys into the pen. Normally, because I want to show you for now, I can introduce the two of them, but I can't leave the two of them together in the same pen because they feed more than each other. They don't consume the same thing. Okay, so now this space, as you can see alone, can contain nothing less than these sizes. For this kind of size, this is the medium size. This is a medium snail size. Basically, this is what people actually ask for in snail farming. Okay, this is the kind of, this is very, very, very profiting, especially in the market. It is a market size to some extent. This is the medium size. If you see the jumbo size, you will shout though. Then you introduce, once you have your water, they introduce another plate here that is for the feed. Then put a quantity of feed. Now, the kind of food they feed on, we talk about fruits, we talk about vegetables,
What kind of fruit?
every fruit that human being eats. You can ask me further questions on what can they eat this, can they eat banana, they eat apple, they eat pineapple, they eat watermelon, orange, tell me other fruit, pawpaw, carica papaya, what other thing? They eat watermelon, they eat watermelon. Ask me any other fruits. What other fruits? They are just, yes, they eat coconut, but be careful not to give them the coconut with the water. Ensure you rinse it well because it is salty. Coconut has a level of salt in it. Another thing you should be able to note, please, don't waterlog your snail pen. It is dangerous for them. I'll show you an example here. Now, for instance, please come closer. Come and see this. This is a pen for the AA. You can see the waterlog. You can see the cucumber. Sorry, the cabbage leaf. Okay, sea water inside. Now, because it is waterlogged, their activity is actually limited. Now, assuming it is not waterlogged, this is waterlogged. I need to take out the water practically and ensure that it is okay for them to actually survive in. Once it is waterlogged, their activity is restricted. Okay, so this is AA. I have my AM here as well. Now I have my AM here, as you can see them. This is still this is still what's it called, keg. This is still a keg system, so you can have this around you. You can have this around you wherever you may actually be.
Yeah, snail farming is very profitable. Why? It's easy and cheap to run. Let me put it that way. Cheap to run.
Yeah.
Why? You don't have to get their feeds, but you don't have to spend expensive money to. When you see poultry farmers during this time, they complain, feed is taking our money, feed is taking our money. It's not like that with snail. Why? Because you can feed your snails with a lot of vegetables. And once your snail starts laying eggs and giving everything, what you started with like 100, you can just discover within, you can have 1,000 snails.
Yeah.
And the funniest part is that the price of snail is going up, like it's not coming down. And especially when it gets to dry season like this, that's when the apex of the market, like you. And so you can, let's imagine probably you start with a snail 150, 250, 350. When you are selling 1,000 and above, and what it will cost you is just the normal vegetable and everything. Another thing is that a lot of places or a lot of people are buying snails. Restaurants, hotels, eatery, they are buying snails. And another thing is that snails is used in manufacturing of drugs, the slime and everything. As in there's hardly any part of snail that is a waste.
You can see that again.
There's hardly any part of snail that is a waste. So, like, it's like you are eating a gold mine, like when you are into snail. And when you are buying or when you are starting, if you document the amount you spent, I can assure you that within a year you'll have made more than almost times 10. Like, it's that profitable. It's very easy to rear. Doesn't cost much actually to rear. Once you know everything you need and you stick to the rules of the game, let me put it that way. So it's very, very profitable. I can say it's probably one of the most profitable animals to rear.
Some of the stuffs we are into, okay, like you can see in my hand here, okay, please help me with this, thank you. Now this is a processed snail meat, you know, can you see these are snails? These are actual snails. This is one snail, oh, see how big it is, just one. Okay, we have snails. Okay, if I open it, actually because I'm not with a glove now, I probably may not be able to open and show you more. So but these are the snails inside. You should get to know how can you market your snails. Who are those eating snails? Where should I sell my snails to? All of these things, one after the other, is well illustrated in the video. So I look forward to see you in the snail farm training as soon as you can log in.